Leonidas, as the mightiest rebel, wanted to fight Apollo and was set up by Brunhilde to do so because of one reason. Apollo's orders is what became the Oracle of Sparta, with Leonidas being against the very nature of being ordered around. Even if it was just Apollo saying don't fight, the ordering was the issue here. So yeah, the reason isn't the best, but makes sense what Leonidas' character is. But something more interesting about this is Brunhilde's role, of course connecting to his volume, which I'll go over shortly. As I mentioned in other videos with his design and now his weapon for the fight as well, the chances of him learning about modern military and improving after death is most likely the case. This is because we got even more evidence in the newest chapter. So in his flashback, we pretty much see him die and take all this damage, with these scars being shown on his current body fighting Apollo in Ragnarok, as they appear here. And in Ragnarok, the human fighters appear in their so-called golden age, which means the strongest version of them, which in Leonidas' case is after he died or right as he died, similar to the likes of Sasaki for reference. So much more unexpected things will most likely occur throughout this fight, not really expected or shown in his flashback, which we got in this chapter and I'll go over shortly. But first I want to go over his weapon, which is of course the most unexpected and probably important thing to be considered for this fight. So the shield he pulled up with is his volumed or weapon for this fight, having the ability to transform, and according to these translations here, it's called the one who charges forth with the spear. Is this the authors literally trolling us at this point? In every video since his reveal, I've talked about will he have his spear, will he get it, stuff like that. And now we have his transforming weapon literally called this with spear in the name. Pretty funny stuff. This is also his Valkyrie, and according to this post I saw on the Reddit for the series, this is what number she is and these are the ones remaining, which is pretty interesting stuff. Let me know, I guess, down below who you think's going to pair up with who for the remainder of the series. I'm thinking this one with the likes of Rasputin, but we'll have to wait and see. So the shield transformed into this range-like weapon with these blades on it and a chain connected to his arm. I'm expecting it to be able to transform into multiple things most likely, but as he sent it at Apollo during this chapter, we see him actually catch it with ease, and then something a little strange occurs. We have Leonidas scream and aura begin to appear around his arm, which then connects to the weapon and appears around that, resulting in his first named attack and dealing the first, I guess, major blow in this fight, making Apollo actually bleed. We don't get this aura explained whatsoever, but it seemed to have freaked out Apollo a little bit or shocked him. He was easily able to catch the weapon, but once the aura appeared around it, he could really do nothing. So is this Leonidas' ability or something else to do with the weapon? We'll have to wait and see. Also, a big question throughout the fandom is, where is Apollo's weapon? One of the main people who leak stuff about Record of Ragnarok when the chapters come out is this person, part of the Spanish community. They talked about how this apparently confirms that next chapter we're going to have Apollo's weapon being revealed. Of course, in his introduction chapter, we did get this showing him with his bow and arrow, so most likely that will be the case, unless they're going to go with something different. But so far in this fight, he has been just using his hands, but of course he hasn't really done an attack back so far, just dodging, and now this, I guess, block. So weapon next chapter, most likely the case. That's going to be pretty interesting. Will it be something unexpected, not a bow and arrow? Of course, let me know what you think it could be down below. I'm just assuming it's going to be that because that's what really everyone expects. I think it would be pretty cool to have facing Leonidas with his shield that can transform into most likely various things. Now when it comes to Leonidas' flashback, I'm expecting this to be the only one we get for him. We don't really need others. Of course, we see people part of Leonidas' kingdom praying to the likes of Apollo as, you know, their god, stuff like that, with all the higher ups following the oracle's rule out of fear of facing divine punishment, with Leonidas pulling up, destroying Apollo's statue, and pretty much accepting that all divine punishment will be on himself, and then prepares to go to war alone. But of course all his Spartans are here, with him saying they can do what they want and they pretty much have their battle. we don't really need any more flashbacks for Leonidas, but something interesting I want to talk about is regarding Apollo. So his order was really not to fight, which could be viewed as multiple things. Leonidas' kingdom would most likely be destroyed if he was or wasn't to fight due to the army pretty much going to invade eventually, which does add to the whole point about Leonidas not wanting to follow orders and his hate for Apollo, as the Oracle's orders was not to fight, which would have resulted in all these people most likely dying in the near future. So we do kind of get to see where Leonidas is coming from and a flaw when it comes to Apollo, who so far doesn't really seem like the most evil god per se. We don't know exactly what he voted for when it comes to Ragnarok, but when he was first introduced, he was surprised that the tournament was actually still going, not really having any interest in it, and most likely just being a part of the roster due to his strength, which is already pointed out by the likes of Zeus. As personality wise, he doesn't really seem like someone who would take part in the tournament, but due to being so strong, I'm guessing Zeus perhaps forced him to be a fighter. That's just a theory based on everything we've seen so far, and I get the sense after taking this attack, once we see him next chapter pull out his weapon, we're going to see him being much more serious, which is going to be cool and probably fairly badass. I'm not sure what we're going to get for his flashback. Most of the Greek gods haven't really got long in-depth flashbacks. Zeus literally got like a few pages. Maybe Apollo will get a similar thing, as his connection to Leonidas isn't as strong as we all initially thought, so who knows, maybe something regarding him and Zeus, which will be pretty cool, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so now that we're pretty much 2 chapters into the fight, my original prediction for round 9 is that Apollo was going to be the winner, putting the gods ahead when it comes to scores for the overall record of Ragnarok. The first time in quite some time now, and will remain in that factor, maybe tie here and there, but will most likely be in the lead until the final few rounds. But considering the volume for Leonidas, as I mentioned at the start of the video, Brynhilde definitely paired this Valkyrie up with Leonidas for a major reason. I think her transformations are going to be a major factor that are going to defeat Apollo, as Leonidas of course will have the skill and ability to handle those changes and pretty much factors to counter him in my opinion. So I could potentially see a draw happening. I've been talking about this for like, I don't know, probably 2 years at this point, ever since Buddha's betrayal, that Record of Ragnarok needs a draw to add more rounds, which kinda pretty much needs to be the case considering the introduction of Siegfried and whatever role he will play in the story, unless of course Record of Ragnarok continues after the tournament outside of what's known as Ragnarok, and that's where Siegfried could play his role. But more fights needed to be added, and a draw will allow that to be possible and would make the most sense. So it could be this round. If it is a draw, this would also mean both characters will be killed, so Greek gods even deeper in the mud, and Leonidas going out like an absolute beast. That would be pretty cool. Of course, before I end today's video, make sure to subscribe, check out all the other stuff in the description if you haven't already. But yep, that's it guys, peace.